Greetings, combatants. Today we will be reacting to Shao Kahn vs. Bison. There's also an interesting thing I want to do. I want to start doing videos on fixes for NetherRealm's games. I want to fix the problems with the NetherRealm games. So, the first will be MK9. So without further ado, let's get into it. This intro's straight fire, even though Death Battle isn't the best at what they do.
To test your skill to the fullest.
And sometimes they're just plain cheap, like Shao Kahn the Conqueror.
Or Master Bison of Shadaloo.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Using the MK2 design, I very much
approve
of
that.
that.
Evil ruler of Outworld, conqueror of worlds, and owner of one of the most badass voices ever. Excluding yours truly, of course.
Too easy.
Though he did not start out that way, oddly enough, in a manner similar to Raiden's assignment to...
No lies there, Shao Kahn has an extremely badass voice. Like, he sounds really badass. What do I mean 7'2"? He's 7'6". He has like 400 pounds of muscle or something like that. Like, he's probably like he probably weighs in the thousands, to be honest, because of how big he is. So he's literally huge, over 10,000 years old. He's actually millions of years old, thanks to the game descriptions in Armageddon, which the scene between Argus and Delia is like millions of years before the actual games, the first game actually takes place. So yeah. Also, since Taven has no idea that Shinnok became evil, it's another example of how much older Shao Kahn actually is, because Argus and Delia were talking about how Shao Kahn's attention is on Edenia, and for his attention to be on Edenia, it has to be millions of years. And since Shinnok was banished millions of years ago and Taven doesn't know about him, the real assumption is Shao Kahn ruled over Outworld for millions of years. My depiction, my personal opinion, is he ruled over Outworld for 5 million years. Former advisor, they mean former protector god of Outworld. And the truth behind that, for any who are curious, is that Shao Kahn is a protector of Outworld, and he was created after the split of the One Being. He was created along with his realm, just like all the other protectors. So since he is significantly more powerful than a lesser, and less powerful than an elder, the term God is very loosely used throughout fiction. He is, without staying of a word, extremely powerful. He was stripped of his title after killing Onaga. His motivation behind such I will get into eventually.
Earth, the Elder Gods personally selected Kahn to protect the rather bleak realm of Outworld.
Turns out it really didn't need protecting.
Shao Kahn became the chief advisor to Outworld's ancient ruler, the Dragon King Onaga. Together, they began a war spanning the multiverse, conquering the other realms of existence one by one.
Good choice on that one, guys.
Yes, beat Quan Chi up. Yes, beat Quan Chi up. I'm not gonna lie, Quan Chi especially gets me annoyed, especially after what he did in MK9. Not going to let that go.
Why did they even think this guy needed a bodyguard?
But Kahn does not like sharing power, and soon poisoned Onaga.
Oh, the Deadly Alliance costume that he wears, his armor from Deadly Alliance, that's sick. Like, it's my second favorite design out of his. My first is obviously Deception, but if in my personal opinion, if they weren't to include the Deception outfit in games, well, go for Deadly Alliance. We need a Deadly Alliance. We need Deadly Alliance's costume to be playable in the games because it's so iconic looking. I mean, I've already discussed this in my videos, but I'm going to be breaking down. Well, I'm also going to be breaking them because MK2 especially deserves that breakdown because that's iconic, like the blood staff right there.
Taking the Emperor's throne as his own.
Well, I saw Onaga's throne in Deception, and it does not look like the one Shao Kahn is sitting in. The throne is much bigger. If you play Deception, you know exactly what I mean. If you watch my Deception video, that's literally his throne. His throne is huge because he's a dragon guy.
He now rules Outworld with an iron fist and a giant maul, the Rat Hammer. He can summon this monster.
The Sword of Shao Han, only seen in that crappy. Whoa! What the hell? Did they just call Conquest crappy? I'm sorry, excuse me for a minute, but Conquest is not crafty. It crafted one of the most eloquent versions of Shao Kahn. One of his quotes is literally, "I assume treachery, loyalty, I question." The way he speaks, the way he talks, the way he enunciates. Yes, I get they don't have the Wrath Hammer. I get that it's unfortunate they don't have the Wrath Hammer because the Wrath Hammer is personally my favorite anyways. But it is not crappy. It's not a crappy TV show by any means. Shao Kahn depiction in TV shows is a lot better than most other villains. Like 1984's Megatron, who would constantly retreat. Shao Kahn did not show up that much. Like, he was in the background, but he never participated in most battles, because there's a concrete reason why he can't. He cannot travel to other realms unless he's in the middle of the conquest, so that's the point behind that. So it gives the writers a necessary cap, which allows them to not have to find a way to defeat him every single episode he shows up in. Like, Megatron, Cobra Commander, and a bunch of other villains from the 80s and the 90s were subdued to being easily defeated in every single episode they appeared in, which lowered the stakes. This is an easier way to write around. Like, for instance, let's get into Transformers Prime, which also depicted Megatron, but Megatron did not fight that much, and when he did, he was a significant threat. He would only show up if he needed to, and if he showed up, he usually won. So yeah, I like that personally. So it's not a crappy TV show. The only thing that drags his performance, well, actually it doesn't really, because there was only one time, and even then, I still accept that episode was not the best, but still, it's a good series. Like, don't call it crappy.
Sledgehammer out of thin air to finish foes in seconds, or decimate Whack-A-Mole records.
He is a master of the dark arts.
That is powerful. I've actually done that before when I was playing Trilogy. When I played Trilogy, it was like the 2v1, and I sometimes like smashed the opponent with the Wrath Hammer, and it made them explode, because that's my depiction of the Wrath Hammer. The Wrath Hammer is something very few people would actually survive encountering. So, I give credit for that. His original face. Does it look a little creepy? Well, at least it doesn't look ugly like 11. And besides, let's be honest here. This totally fits the aesthetic for the Protector God of War, because that's apparently what Shao Kahn is. A text in Chameleon's Armageddon bio states, or is it her Armageddon bio? I'm not exactly sure. It may be Trilogy or something like that, but it states that it's like he fed off of combat. Combat empowered him. So basically, that's a God of War. So,
and often uses his magic to enhance his lethal attacks or create energy constructs of weapons, just as deadly as the real thing. He has even used his sorcery to manipulate and erase the minds of others.
It's like Magic Vegas.
He can also access his inner beast to transform.
Nope, I don't want to know what that is. Wait, but let's see something. Let's get something goofy. Oh my goodness, what the hell is that face? he's like got his mouth open like an O, and it's like, what was the direction
his inner beast to transform into this thing.
Quick, make me forget that shit!
Right, never happened. Now, despite living in a completely separate dimension, Shao Kahn is well versed in two variants of Chinese Kung Fu, Dai Zu and Liu Wei,
which is one of my favorite aspects about Deception and Armageddon, the fact that Tai Zu and Li Wei are actually real martial arts forms. They actually use real fighting styles. They don't just give you basic generic moves. They actually gave you a moveset that fits each of the characters. I like that. Wait, that's one of the best parts of the games. The fact that they actually enhanced over time. Like, giving the ability to actually use real-life fighting styles is so iconic, and they should definitely bring it back. Because if I wrote these games, I would bring back the fighting styles for each of these characters. Because Shao Kahn using martial arts forms, and everyone else also using a form of martial arts, even like Onaga during like Deception, his art form was called Dragon. And yeah, so depiction of dragon, so cool. It's like actually cool. It's like something to go off of. I actually like it.
Generally focus on powerful strikes and solid defense.
He mixes these arts with his magic for a moveset that's all about absolutely obliterating his opponent.
Which he does.
He rams people with charging spikes.
Especially if you play Trilogy or Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. I'm not gonna lie. I played Trilogy and I played Trilogy, and let me just tell you, even though I was playing as Shao Kahn, I didn't hold a candle to the AI version of him, because the AI version of him obliterates you. The input doesn't allow me to use the fireball correctly, so I'm stuck looking like a complete idiot trying to use every other move possible to try to defeat him, and I'm getting my ass kicked. Because the AI definitely cheats. I'm not gonna lie, the AI is definitely cheating. The way he does inputs is a lot faster than anyone can do inputs. I can't put in an input nearly as fast as he can. He just does it straight away. I had to put in the inputs. He deals out 4 special moves quicker than I can deal out 2, so that's just the way he does it.
And even shoots fireballs from his mouth and laser beams from his eyes.
And if his foe gets the upper hand, he can deflect any kind of projectiles back with his mystical Emperor's shield.
And of course, he always finishes his fights with a brutal fatality and epic one-liner.
The double down.
Shao Kahn wins.
Wait,
is that your best?
is that your best?
He's a living tank, bulldozing down anybody dumb enough to get in his way. He has taken deadly blows time and time again and keeps getting back up. More pissed off than anything else.
But while his tenacity may be his greatest strength, his arrogance is easily his biggest weakness.
You will die.
Yes, you will die.
His endurance and longevity stems from his ability to steal the souls of others. Devouring a soul grants him long.
So I'm gonna get into this in a video, but MK9 is a not very accurate depiction of Mortal Kombat 3, and I'm gonna use the Mortal Kombat 3 intro to prove my point, because Mortal Kombat 3 is very definitive. Like Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat 3, he didn't need a soul natal to just suck up all the souls. He stretched out his hand, and he started just taking all the souls for himself. If you see in the Mortal Kombat 3 intro, it literally just shows souls just flying up towards the portal. That's what he's doing. That was one of his first moves when coming into the invasion. It was a very smart and crafty thing of him to do.
Longer life and the inherent power attributed to the victim. He is not a perfect conqueror, as he is restricted to the rules set by the Elder Gods. In order to invade a realm, Kahn's chosen warriors must defeat the defenders 10 times in a row in the form of a tournament of Mortal Kombat held every 50 years.
Yeah.
Which he was doing pretty well until he came to Earth.
But even after losing the battle for Earth, he just outsmarted the Elder Gods and eventually outlasted every other combatant to achieve the power of Armageddon.
Yeah.
Until Raiden reversed time because he's a sore loser.
I don't think he actually reversed time, to be honest. Because it's like glimpses of his future self, but that doesn't make any sense because you can't really... Sending a message back through time is a really difficult thing to establish and be able to accomplish, so I don't think he was capable of doing so.
But his proudest
Defenders
accomplishment is...
of the Realm. This is Defenders of the Realm right here. There's actually the scene from Defenders of the Realm. I actually have seen it before, so I know of it. And this was early on and before the canonical explanation that Edenia is actually a realm he conquered, not Outworld itself, so yeah, that's something to go off.
His takeover of Edenia, the most powerful and respected realm of all. And as trophies for this victory, Kahn took Edenia's queen and princess as his own wife and daughter.
Nice.
I am Shao Kahn, conqueror of worlds. You will taste no victory.
Master Bison is the psychopathic founder and leader of the Shadaloo criminal regime. He is incredibly wealthy, socially powerful, and public enemy #1 of the Allied nations.
Oh, so the M means master!
Well, yes and no. In Japan, M. Bison is really named Vega. Our Vega's name is actually Balrog, and Balrog the boxer goes by the full name of Mike Tyson.
So I don't
I
know
get it, like
much
Mike
about
Tyson.
Street
Why
Fighter,
was
so...
that a big enough deal to change all the names to... Oh...
Anyway,
So I know
after
very little
murdering his
about
own
Street
parents at a
Fighter,
young
so
age, he was found and raised by a tribe of nomadic gypsies.
Wait, are we still talking about Tyson?
The gypsies...
Okay, let's see here. 154 pounds. I highly doubt that. That doesn't sound right to me because Bison, he's a pretty big guy for his size. Like, he's 5'11". He looks pretty big. So I assume the opposite, to be honest with you.
The leader took Bison under her wing and trained him in the art of soul power, an ancient art of utilizing the very essence of one's soul.
I'm gonna say this right now, before we actually get into the fight. Soul power is a very useless tactic against someone who is capable of, who literally feeds off of souls. He absorbs, he feeds off them. The exact depiction of what he does with souls varies from depiction to depiction, but in certain versions he actually feeds off of them, in other versions he actually just absorbs them and empowers him. Like, really, the depictions can be different from game to game or like from movie to movie, but in my personal opinion, I prefer if it's anything else but that the stupid way the 2021 movie did it, of Shang Tsung actually consuming the soul. Also, it took him forever to do, which is another thing I want to state, but I personally don't like that, because I don't think they don't really absorb it through their mouths more so. They absorb it through their hands. It's just like, yeah, he does feed off of them, and I would have less of a problem if Shao Kahn did it because, well, Shao Kahn's cooler than Shang Tsung. But doesn't mean I want to see him eat souls. It's really hard to determine the way he does it, but he does it.
As a tool.
But since Bison's kind of a prick, he quickly mastered soul power and began developing his own...
So going back on my previous statement, I don't think Bison has much of a chance based off the fact that his main thing is literally enhancing his soul. His power is enhancement of his own soul to make it, which is which without a doubt is extremely powerful, but it still kills people. It's still gonna get him killed because Shao Kahn doesn't care how powerful your soul is. He's just gonna take it. so it's not exactly the best weapon.
Much better version.
See, Bison realized his soul was composed of two halves, one good, one evil. He forcefully dispelled all the goodness from his soul, thus pioneering one of the most destructive energies in fictional history, psycho power.
This place shall become your grave!
Well, psycho power does seem pretty
Yes,
significant.
he literally weaponized his soul. And
yeah, a weaponized soul. It's just gonna make Shao Kahn powerful in the end of the day. Like, bad news for Bison if Shao Kahn actually gets a hold of his soul and actually uses it, because if Shao Kahn has psycho power, not only would Bison just feed him more power, but he just made himself one of Shao Kahn's best victims.
And a weird little thing, that good part of his soul, it physically manifested into a woman named Rose. Bison quickly built.
Now, someone please explain to me in the comments section how his soul was capable of manifesting into a completely different person. Cause this is the first time in fiction I've really heard that, like, someone's soul was split in two and it manifested into a good side and an evil side, and I don't know how that's even possible. I don't know Street Fighter well. I know very few characters from the series. I know that Mortal Kombat would, especially Shao Kahn, would probably wipe out the verse, but I don't know Street Fighter like that. So, if you're a Street Fighter fan, please explain to me in the comments how that is possible.
Built his criminal empire with the intent of taking over the world, one day at a time.
The day Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Fan service!
But it turns out his true motives are not even close to what you'd expect.
The governments of Earth are polluting the planet and obliterating its natural resources. Shadow Law will stamp them out and rule this planet.
Master Bison,
Okay, well, he's still evil, so I don't know how much better his rule would be, since he seems to be very tyrannical, and the fact that he has a pure evil soul. So how really much better could his rule over the planet be than any government who's currently in charge? Questions to be asked.
he's our hero, gonna take pollution down to zero.
His psycho power.
Gonna help him conquer the world. I'm a group of guys who like to kung fu bitches.
His psycho power is immensely powerful and adaptable. Bison can use it for flight, telekinesis, teleportation, and even psychic brainwashing, which has become quite a hobby of his.
With psycho power,
I think Shao Kahn can also fly, too. He can definitely teleport, which is much cooler than the way Shang Tsung does it. If you watch Battle of the Realms, it's like one of the few times we actually see him teleport, and he just blatantly just puts his hand out and a portal just right there appears. He doesn't have to do this whole circle animation with his hands to make a portal like Shang Tsung had to. So yeah, it's just pretty cool. It's like a cool way to manifest a portal. And I really appreciate how they actually put effort into that, because Legend's depiction of Shao Kahn is one of the best. I would say definitely the best NetherRealm has done so far. I like it. I really like MK9, but Battle of the Realms, the only bad thing about Battle of the Realms is they wrote him off as the final villain in the last third of the movie. But that's it. His depiction, the way he displays everyone, is just way more superior. MK9 is of course the runner-up for best NetherRealm depictions.
he developed his own unique fighting style, Shadowluism.
Shadowluism focuses on speed and destructive force over all else, made possible by such moves as the Psycho Cannon, the Head Stomp, a Scissor Kick,
and that cheap-ass slide kick, over and over and over again,
as well as his deadliest attack, the Psycho Crusher, which at full power can kill a normal human being in one shot. Bison is
basic attacks can also kill a normal human at one attack if a bolt is correctly shot at someone. If anything is correctly used against someone, it can also kill them in a single shot. Now, what would be more interesting if it was capable of like vaporizing the opponent completely, like if it like made there be no body, then yeah, that would actually be extremely powerful. But killing someone in a single shot is not as powerful.
Extremely cocky, considering himself no less than a god, and for good reason. He has been impaled, electrocuted, shot point blank, crushed.
He can be impaled. That's not a good sign. If he can be impaled, then he's gonna have some trouble with Shao Kahn's spears, because he loves throwing those things. Especially in MK9 and MK2. MK11 doesn't count. The spear's a physical object now, which kind of sucks. The only time I would accept the spear to be a physical object is if Shao Kahn actually wants to make an example of someone. And by this, I mean using an official fatality I saw in the sprites for many enhanced versions of Mortal Kombat 3, which has him say the character's name and then say, "You suck." He throws the spear at you. It transforms into an actual physical spear, plants itself in the ground, and has the opponent's body dangle from it. And afterwards he says, "I win." Ha 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 ha. Fatality. Which is also how I would prefer him announce his victory. Like, actually laughing afterwards makes it sound so much more intimidating. Already, I win is very intimidating, so they should bring it back one day.
Underneath a building, yet could resume the fight like nothing happened.
The only Street Fighter who was able to pretty much put him down single-handedly was Akuma. But the Raging Demon is supposed to destroy a person's soul, yet Bison's soul survived to fight another day.
Okay, let's see in the comments section if... Let's see if the comment section someone actually explains how it's possible for him to survive the Akuma's Raging Demon. Form Bison. Okay. I already did the recording. Oh, someone actually commented on that. 150 pounds, I agree. Yeah. I don't see anything at the moment, but I'm really eager to find something. I don't see anything. Maybe if I find something. Nope. Never
Psycho
mind.
power has only one major flaw. Bison's human body cannot contain its full potential, and will eventually break down. Fortunately for Bison, he can transfer his soul into other compatible bodies once his current one is used up.
But even if that fails, Bison says screw caution and busts out one last trick. His ultimate form, Final Bison.
The final Bison form unleashes the Psycho Power's full potential. Sure, it completely mutilates his body, but its sheer power practically guarantees victory.
So who gives a shit?
Especially since he can always possess some other helpless victim's body when he's done.
Told ya, he's a prick.
Yes, yes, I killed your father. What is it with you women anyway? I killed my father too, and you don't hear me whining about it.
Alright,
That's
the
because
combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
That's because you're pure evil. That's why you're not whining about killing your own father. Because why would you care about having to kill your own father? You are a pretty despicable human being, so. And killing loved ones is this villainy 101. Except the difference is Shao Kahn doesn't actually have any loved ones. He doesn't have a father, he doesn't have a mother, he doesn't have siblings. Unless the realm immortals actually count as his siblings, which means he probably killed them. Since they wouldn't approve of what he did to Onaga.
But first, I need another free GameFly trial.
GameFly is the largest online video game rental service, offering over 8,000 new and classic titles for all consoles and handhelds.
You can rent up to 4 games at a time. That's more than 3.
Members also have access to hundreds of PC games with unlimited PC play. Go to www.gamefly.com/deathbattle right now for a free 15-day trial.
But right now, it's time for a death battle.
Wait a second, when did this... 11 years ago, so The Last of Us came out... Well, The Last of Us is old.
Kneel before my psycho power.
Prepare to die. Okay, what Bison did with that psycho power was impressive.
Too easy.
Classic quote. That classic voice just has no competitors.
Worthless. Just try to withstand my psycho power. Are you frightened? Grovel before me. I'll scar you.
Oh my god. He actually wanted Bison to believe that he had a chance of actually controlling his soul, but then he just immediately just breaks out of it with the most ease possible, and then just whoops him for it. Like, yeah. Okay, he probably is not gonna want to be hit by that.
Shall become your grave. Utter scum.
Is that your best?
Ha! Is that your best? He literally hit him with one of his best attacks, and he just said, "Is that your best?" That is Shao Kahn to the T. Always putting on the T's, always putting on some cheap ass, always saying something that will make his opponent become extremely rageful because, "Is that your best? You hit me with the best you have. Is that all you have to offer me?" Ha! Nice jump. It's made really easy. Nice jump.
Feel the wrath of Shao Kahn.
Feel the wrath of Shao Kahn. I love that line.
Flawless.
victory.
Makes more sense than him having a hole punched through his chest and saying, "Flawless victory." I give him credit for that.
My psycho power knows no limit. Death awaits.
Does it? Oh, nice. At first, Shao Kahn was getting hit by multiple of those attacks, but he quickly adapted to it and started blocking. That's a very Shao Kahn way to handle things. Haha, damn shoulder tackle. Like, he did that to me in Trilogy. A hammer. Ooh!
Fatality. Bomb, you garbage. No!
Good job, Bison. KO! Oh,
That can't be good.
Oh goodness, that's bad. And as I predicted, Bison really just gave him more power. So that was dumb on his part.
While Bison is one of the deadliest street fighters, and surviving the Raging Demon proves he can protect his soul, Shao Kahn's thousands of years of combat experience, combined with his brutal tenacity, ultimately triumphed. Also, Kahn's otherworldly makeup means it's extremely unlikely Bison's soul could possess him if given the chance.
And Kahn is no stranger to brainwashing. Hell, he used it on his own wife and daughter for years. Not to mention, Bison's soul-fueled psycho power isn't the best weapon against somebody who eats souls for breakfast.
Shao Kahn has gained power from every soul he's devoured. By the rules of Mortal Kombat and assuming the possibility of losses, Kahn has consumed at least 60 billion souls over 10,000 years.
Looks like Kahn had a final solution for Bison.
The winner is Shao Kahn.
Okay, well, speaking about that, I still want to figure out how Bison was able to survive the Raging Demon. I saw a comment because I was doing some research for it, and I saw like there was like a comment that said that he had like duplicated his soul or something like that, so that's how he survived. So if that's the case, in reality, he definitely wouldn't have survived if he didn't like find a neat workaround to not having his soul absorbed, not having his soul be destroyed. Because how evil his soul was, the Raging Demon would definitely have killed him.
Next time on Death Battle.
Nope.
By signing up for Screw Attack's Advantage program, where you can see awesome stuff like this. Take it away, Boomstick.
Master Bison, he's our hero. Gonna take pollution down to zero. Gonna help him conquer the world. Are a group of guys who like to kung fu bitches. We're in Shadowloo, and you can be in too. Taking over our planet is the thing to do. Looting and polluting is not the way, but here's what Master Bison has to say. The power is mine. Oh, wait, never mind. Shao Kahn killed me. Now it's his power, I guess.
You weak, pathetic fool.
Goodness gracious, that is quite a way to end that battle. So overall, way better. Obviously better than Akuma vs. Shao Kahn. I've already done the recording on Akuma vs. Shao Kahn, so stay tuned because that's going to probably be the next one to be put out. So yeah, very entertaining. Definitely very entertaining. It was a little weird that his throne room there was like a throne located in the acid stage or the sewer stage or whatever it was, but you know what, I don't find that too problematic, especially since Akuma vs. Shao Kahn had a worse placement of the throne. Like his throne was literally placed in the middle of a desert, and it wasn't his normal MK9 Coliseum throne. It was his throne room throne, which makes even less sense because that throne room throne is only placed in his throne room in MK9 and the rooftop stage at one point. Yeah, so that's the end of that for me. So, anyways, if you like my content, feel free to like and subscribe. If you don't, thank you for watching anyways. As always, God bless you all.